Hello and welcome back, everybody. This is Jared Eastley, and today I will be discussing PSYOP, recognition, and resistance. Detailed information from today's video can be found on my website, greaterlightandtruth.com. The link is in the description. And as always, if you like what you hear, please subscribe and hit the like button. At the moment, I am actually in a hotel in Miami, and it's a good place to try and do one of these videos where it's nice and quiet. So I'm actually going to be reading the blog post I put up on September 19th entitled PSYOP Recognition and Resistance. You can listen to me go over this material, or you can just go to the website and read it yourself. But since most people seem to have an aversion to reading, I will read it for you. So here we go. Psychological operations, or PSYOPs, are deliberate strategies designed to influence what people believe, how they feel, and ultimately how they behave. While most people imagine PSYOPs as tools of wartime propaganda or military operations, in reality they extend far beyond the battlefield. They appear in politics, religion, advertising, public health campaigns, news coverage, and even in viral social media trends. At their heart, PSYOPs exploit fundamental human instincts, our search for safety, belonging, authority, and meaning. When carried out effectively, they alter public perception so subtly that individuals believe they are making independent choices, when in fact their reactions have been carefully engineered. Recognizing PSYOPs is not about fostering paranoia or cynicism. Instead, it is about developing discernment, the ability to see through manipulative tactics and retain clarity of judgment. By learning to identify the hallmarks of manipulation, emotional triggers, manufactured urgency, tribal divisions, and selective framing, we reclaim the ability to think critically and choose consciously. Awareness breaks the spell. What once appeared to be an undeniable truth is revealed as a crafted story. With proper training, the very tools designed to control populations can be inverted into tools of resistance, empowering individuals and communities to stand firm against engineered reality. Now we're going to talk about the FATE model of manipulation. A useful framework for recognizing PSYOPs is the FATE model, F-A-T-E, which stands for focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. Each component represents a pressure point within the human psyche that can be manipulated to bypass rational thought and elicit compliance. Focus is the hijacking of attention. Repetition, shocking imagery, and crisis language create disproportionate emphasis on a single narrative. For instance, in the days following 9/11, nonstop footage of the collapsing Twin Towers imprinted fear and urgency onto the global consciousness. Authority involves the manipulation of trust in figures of influence. Humans are predisposed to defer to perceived experts. When respected voices change tone or speak beyond their expertise to endorse a narrative, people are likely to follow. Tribe appeals to our primary need for belonging and identity, or to be a part of a group. Narratives often divide the world into in-groups and out-groups. Patriots versus traitors, believers versus deniers. This is us versus them. If you're not with us, you are against us. Emotion is perhaps the most powerful lever of all. Fear, outrage, and hope can override reason in an instant. Graphic images can quickly elicit fear and hysteria, which can be easily directed to harness support for a cause, relinquish rights, and invest more power in the leadership than ever before. Emotional reasoning is easily manipulated. Now we'll talk about broader indicators of PSYOPs. Beyond the fate model, numerous signs reveal the presence of psychological manipulation. Novelty plays on the human brain's evolutionary instincts to pay attention to sudden changes. Echo chambers occur when nearly every major outlet presents identical talking points. Cognitive dissonance weapons exploit the discomfort we feel when beliefs and actions clash. Emotional scripts evoke scarcity, fear of violence, or concern for children. Following the money reveals hidden beneficiaries. Context boundaries shift what is considered permissible. Archetypes simplify narratives into digestible stories of heroes, villains, and saviors. Framing manipulates expectation, belief, perception, and definition. Rapid compliance shifts occur when urgency pressures people into sudden conformity, and timing often reveals attempts at distraction. Logical fallacies as weapons. Logical fallacies are flawed arguments dressed in persuasive language. In PSYOPs, they serve as shortcuts to bypass rational analysis and steer audiences toward predetermined conclusions. By cloaking weak reasoning in emotional or social appeal, manipulators can make falsehoods feel self-evident. Understanding these fallacies is vital to resisting engineered reality. Appeal to emotion. This fallacy substitutes emotional triggers for evidence. Fear, guilt, pity, pride, or hope are invoked to override logic. Mechanism. The emotional brain reacts faster than the rational brain, creating immediate alignment with the message. Example: if you don't support this war, you don't care about our troops. Rather than debating policy merits, the statement manipulates patriotism and compassion. Straw man. A position is distorted into a weaker version so it can be easily attacked. Mechanism. Misrepresentation shifts the debate away from the real issue. An example is during debates over lockdowns, critics who raised concerns about economic or mental health effects were caricatured as not caring if people die. Bandwagon fallacy. A claim is presented as true simply because everyone believes or does it. Mechanism. Humans are tribal and seek safety in consensus. Conformity is betrayed as correctness. An example: millions have downloaded this app, so it must be safe. Popularity is substituted for proof. False dilemma, either or. Only two extreme choices are offered when other possibilities exist. Mechanism. Oversimplification pressures the audience into polarized positions. Example: in the war on terror, the refrain, "You're either with us or against us," excluded any neutral or nuanced stance. Ad hominem. The individual presenting an idea is attacked instead of the argument itself. Mechanism. By undermining credibility, the argument is dismissed without engagement. Example: climate change debates often feature statements like, "He's not a scientist, so we can ignore him," even when the argument is based on solid data and the statements of bona fide or credentialed experts. Appeal to authority. A claim is accepted as true solely because an authority figure endorsed it. Mechanism. Trust in expertise is weaponized, even when experts speak outside their field. Example: a medical doctor endorsing an investment scheme. Expertise in one domain is stretched into another. Slippery slope. The suggestion that a small step will inevitably lead to catastrophic consequences. Mechanism: fear of an extreme outcome suppresses rational evaluation of intermediate steps. Example: if this law passes, all our freedoms will be gone. The argument skips logical stages between policy and collapse. Hasty generalization: a broad conclusion is drawn from minimal or unrepresentative evidence. Mechanism: anecdotes or isolated incidents are presented as proof of universal truth. Example: 2 politicians lied, so all politicians are corrupt. This leap exploits cynicism. Red herring: irrelevant information is introduced to distract from the actual issue. Mechanism: attention is shifted away from uncomfortable facts towards more manageable topics. Example: when pressed on healthcare policy failures, a politician diverts the discussion to crime rates, immigration, or underprivileged children. False equivalence: two things are equated as equal when they are not. Mechanism: differences in scale, intent, or impact are ignored to blur distinctions. Example: equating peaceful protesters with violent rioters, suggesting both are equally bad. This invalidates legitimate grievances. Why fallacies work in PSYOPs. 1. Cognitive shortcuts. Fallacies appeal to our instinct to choose the easy way of thinking instead of the hard way. 2. Emotional hijacking. Most fallacies bypass rational scrutiny by triggering instincts tied to fear, safety, and group belonging. 3. Information overload. In a media-saturated environment, people often accept surface-level arguments to conserve mental energy. They want to be fed selective information with simplified conclusions. 4. Identity protection. Fallacies often align with group identity, making questioning them feel like betrayal. Defensive strategies. Slow down. Fallacies often rely on urgency. Ask for evidence. Distinguish claims without evidence from claims based on observable facts. Look for the reasoning behind the claims and assertions being made. Look for motives. Separate personal from argument. Separate person from argument. Evaluate logic, not personalities. Seek alternative frames. Consider alternate possibilities and scenarios other than what is being presented. Compare across sources. Look at alternate perspectives, considering their arguments and facts. Think dispassionately. Avoid emotional reasoning. The truth does not care about your feelings. What are the facts, and what conclusions do the facts point to? Does the evidence back up the official narrative? Do the math. Conclusion: asking better questions. Resisting PSYOPs is not about knowing all the answers. It is about asking the right questions, such as, why is this being shown to me now? Who benefits? What evidence is missing? Which emotional instincts are being triggered? Are the views, opinions, and narratives being pushed too simplistic? Is this a dispassionate analysis? Or are those involved manipulating the arguments toward a planned conclusion or response? The strongest individuals in times of manipulation are not the loudest voices, but the calmest. They are those who refuse to be swept up by urgency, fear, anger, or tribal passion. Ultimately, the antidote to engineered reality is awareness coupled with honest courage. By practicing critical thinking, scrutinizing sources, questioning narratives, and keeping composure in the storm, every individual can become resilient against manipulation. PSYOPs thrive in darkness, but they lose their power when they are seen for what they are. When recognized, they become obvious, and once obvious, they lose their power over you. All right, that's it. This again is at greaterlightandtruth.com. My essay, PSYOP Recognition and Resistance. The link is in the description.